entertainmentbuddha.com.
Hey Cogs, Matt Heywood here from entertainmentbuddha.com to get deep into some Gears of War lore after completing the latest entry in the franchise, which is Gears of War 4. I made a rhyme. Now we will be diving headfirst into spoiler-filled waters for Gears of War 4, so if you don't want to have the ending spoiled for you, stop this video, go beat the game, and then come back and finish your lesson in Gears history. Before we get into the ending of Gears of War 4, which drops a light mass bomb on your face at the last moment, we must first revisit the original trilogy and one of its most controversial fan debates, which revolves around Queen Myrrah and the Locust Horde. Now, depending on what forum threads you've read, you may have a certain opinion on the Queen and who or what she was. You may also have an opinion on the Locust and exactly where they came from. I, for one, have found an official Gears of War forum thread to really do a great job at explaining the mysteries behind Myrrah and her Locust Horde, but others have shat all over it, such as life on the Wild Wild Web. Forum member who goes by the handle RoughDolphin560 posted a manifesto of sorts on the subjects of the Queen, Emulsion, and the Locust, and how the original 3 Gears games actually did explain if the Queen really was a human, and exactly how long the Locust had been living under Sarah's surface. If you played the game, then you probably think that is a load of crap, because quite frankly, the answers aren't blatantly thrown in your face. Rather, you would have had to have done some serious collectible scouring, as well as read the Gears book called The Slab. To sum up Dolphin's thread, he essentially provides facts from the game and book that support his theory that Queen Myrrah was in fact a human and not a Locust or a hybrid, and that the Locusts have only been on planet Sarah for about 100 years before E-Day. Through his findings, he deduced the following, and you may have to brush up on the first 3 games to familiarize yourself with some of the concepts, or you can just trust me when I say that this dude did his due diligence. You should also go over what went down at the New Hope research facility in Gears 2 with the sires and the tests being done on them and humans infected by emulsion from mining for gold. It really is the key to everything. Anyway, feel free to do that after watching this vid. The forum thread is linked in the description, and it really is a good read if you're a Gears of War lore fan. Based on evidence from the game and books, Dolphin deduced the following. First up, the Locusts are not an ancient race, they've only existed 1st century. New Hope was not set up to splice the DNA of Locusts and humans to create half-breeds. The Cantus did not exist prior to the Pendulum Wars. They are also descended from New Hope. Myrrah is not Marcus Phoenix's mother. Myrrah is not Ruth from New Hope. From this, he drew the following conclusions. Emulsion is evolving all the time. What once caused humans to mutate in the sires 100 years ago now causes them to mutate in the formers. Lambency has been around since emulsion was first discovered. New Hope was set up to research lambency on both adults and their children. The sires were lambent humans. The locusts are the children of lambent humans. Most of the beast locusts were genetically engineered by the humanoid locust. Emulsion causes sterility. Both humanoid and beast locusts struggle to reproduce. Humans are periodically kidnapped, tortured, processed, and bred to create more humanoid locusts. As far as Myrrah goes, she's not a locust, she is a human. She's also a descendant of the New Hope scientists, and throughout the existence of the Horde, humans have always been in charge. Myrrah considers the locusts more human than modern humanity and will fight and die for their right to live. So depending on how deep you've ever explored these concepts, you may or may not agree with his conclusions. He definitely had his fair share of haters, just read all the replies after his study. But now, thanks to the final cinematic in Gears of War 4, Dolphin's conclusions, which more or less have always been supported by the official Gears of War lore masters, have been proven without a doubt. You may be able to still poke holes in his thoughts on the Locust and how long they were on Sarah before E-Day, but you can't deny his findings on Queen Myrrah. Early on in Gears 4, you meet Kate's mom, Raina, who quite frankly looked very familiar to me when I first saw her, but couldn't quite figure out who she reminded me of. Raina eventually gets kidnapped by the Swarm, which are new species on Sarah that came from the emulsified remains of the Locusts that were all killed at the end of Gears of War 3 by Adam Phoenix's emulsion weapon. What is odd about Raina's abduction is that she is specifically targeted by a leader swarm class known as a Scion. Everyone else in the village just gets killed or kidnapped by Snatchers, which are essentially walking vaginas. As you progress through the game, you learn a bit more about the swarm and its hive mind, and Marcus himself taps into it after getting swallowed up by a Snatcher, and discovers that Raina, unlike the others who get processed in the swarm juveniles, was being kept alive in the main swarm hive, which is one of the mass locust graves the Cogs created to dump all the dead locusts in at the end of Gears 3. Once I learned this, I finally put 2 and 2 together and remembered who Raina looked like. She had an uncanny resemblance to Queen Myrrah, the former master of the now defunct locust horde. I then deduced that the swarm, also being created from emulsion, which itself is a hive-minded parasite, was seeking a queen to lead them. You may ask why they went after Raina, because after all, she's just an outsider settlement leader, and didn't appear to be anyone special when you first meet her. Luckily, the ending of Gears 4 wraps up this question in a nice little bow just as the credits roll. JD, Dell, Kate, Marcus, and even Baird and Cole lead an attack on the hive where Raina is being imprisoned. After they take out a massive swarm boss, they rush into the hive and find Raina hooked into the hive and going through some sort of metamorphosis. She asked her daughter Kate to cut her free, knowing it would kill her, but she was lost anyways, so Kate obliged and cut her loose, which killed her own mother. Now the important part, the thing that proves Dolphin's theory about Queen Myrrah once and for all. Lied in a pendant Raina had at the settlement and then gave to Kate as she died. While Kate was being consoled by JD, she pulls out the pendant and JD says,
"She wanted you to have that."
Which Kate says,
It was my grandmother's. I never knew her.
As she turns the pendant over, it's revealed to have the locust symbol on its backside. So if you've been paying attention, Raina's mother was Queen Myrrah, and therefore Kate is a descendant of the fallen locust leader. This explains why the swarm went after Raina in the first place. They must have known that she was Myrrah's daughter and wanted her to assume her mother's place as the queen of the swarm. Thanks to JD and his band of followers, they stopped this plot, but in turn reveal that Kate is Myrrah's granddaughter, which opens her up to be a point of focus in the inevitable sequels. Now that Kate is in possession of the pendant and we know who it once belonged to, one would have to figure that in Gears 5, Kate will become the new focus of the swarm because they still need a queen, and she is a direct descendant of the former Locust Queen herself. If you've been following along, this revelation once and for all confirms that Myrrah was indeed human and really is a descendant of the New Hope scientists that first discovered lamancy and its effects on humans, which back then was to turn them into sires who then had offspring in the form of the locusts from the original trilogy. Deep shit, right? It's all right in front of you though, but Gears 4's ending finally confirms it if you chose not to believe some random fam on the official Gears forum who goes by the handle Rough Dolphin 560. If you need to brush up on the original trilogy and Dolphin's findings, hit the link in the description below. It's a good read if you appreciate video game lore or just want to know everything possible about the Gears War universe. I, for one, bought into his conclusions based on the facts he lists, but others needed more convincing, and now all they have to do is beat Gears of War 4 to get the answers blatantly spelled out to them. Now we can all speculate about what happens next, but I, for one, feel that Kate will become the main focus of the next Gears game, if not the next two, if the Coalition is shooting for a trilogy. Thanks for watching, Cogs. As always, feel free to tell me that I'm wrong or agree with me. Either way, you should definitely hit up entertainmentboo.com on a daily basis because it will make you a better geek and more informed Gears of War fan, one post at a time.
Sounds like they're moving deeper into the fort.
And so are we. Watch it. It's another one.
We need to get out of here. So, whose fort was this? The Cogs?
Well, the Cog used it as a field hospital. Actual fort is from way before the Cog. Seriously, like King Cog. Seriously, like...
What the hell are these things anyway?
Fast as shit, that's what? Who's next?
Yeah, who's next?
More of them incoming!
I see him, I see him!
much anymore.
Hot. Touch.
Somebody shut that thing up!
And here come his friends.
Damn, that's a lot!
They're everywhere.
What the hell just happened?
Think it upgraded.
Can we downgrade it?
Next!
Hey, try flanking them! I got another one! Dead!